1258 AD, Baghdad burns. 150,000 Mongol horsemen under Hulagu Khan surround the jewel of the Islamic world. Inside those ancient walls, 1,000,000 souls prepare to die. This is the Siege of Baghdad, where the greatest library in the world will become ash and an empire will bleed out in the Tigris. But let's change one thing. What if the defenders had AK-47s? Thousands of them. 7.62 by 39mm Soviet-engineered death machines distributed among the garrison and militia. So what happens when medieval cavalry meets automatic weapons fire? Does 600 rounds per minute rewrite history? Or do the Mongols find a way to make bullets irrelevant? The AK-47 fires 600 rounds per minute, hits targets at 1,000 feet, and punches through armor, horse, and the guy standing behind both. The defenders pack 50,000 rifles plus RPK machine guns with 100-round drums. Not infinite ammunition, but enough to turn any frontal assault into a meat grinder. Hulagu Khan has conquered from Korea to Poland. His forces include light cavalry scouts, heavy shock troops, Chinese siege engineers, and logistics that would make Rome jealous. They don't lose. Ever. And they're about to learn what automatic weapons sound like. First contact happens at dawn. Mongol scouts probe the outer defenses expecting arrows. Instead, AK fire shreds them at 1,200 feet. Scouts drop from saddles before processing the sound. The survivors who turn to flee take rounds in the back. Horses scream and bolt. 90 seconds later, an entire reconnaissance unit is gone without ever seeing their killers. Hulagu adapts. He pulls back beyond rifle range, establishes positions at 2,000 feet, and begins proper siege operations. Cut water supplies, blockade roads, starve the city, build trebuchets and earthworks beyond rifle range, settle in for the long game. When defenders sortie out to disrupt siege works, Mongol cavalry retreats, drawing them from the walls. Classic feigned retreat. But Baghdad's commanders maintain fire discipline, stay behind fortifications, and use rifles to deny Mongols any ground within 1,000 feet. RPK teams sweep areas where siege engineers try advancing equipment. A few 100-round bursts turn expensive trebuchets into expensive scrap. The defenders win every firefight. Horses can't charge through bullets. Arrows bounce off stone while AK rounds punch through shields. The city should be safe, except the Mongols aren't trying to win those fights. They're playing a different game. While defenders focus on cavalry charges that never come, Mongol patrols strangle supply lines. Merchant caravans vanish. River traffic on the Tigris stops. Food dries up. Then ammunition shipments stop. The commanders realize too late that every bullet fired at probing attacks is one less in reserve. They've got rifles but finite ammunition. The Mongols have time. Hulagu escalates psychological warfare. Captured merchants return with embellished atrocity stories. Prisoners get executed within view of the walls. At night, shamans perform drum rituals, making sentries jumpy and wasting ammunition on shadows. Meanwhile, Mongol intelligence identifies ammunition depot locations through captured traders. 3 months in, defenders still win firefights, but fire discipline slips. Nervous militiamen dump entire magazines at distant riders. Officers struggle with ammunition rationing. Morale frays as food dwindles, and the caliph's court fractures into factions arguing about negotiation versus attack versus holding position. Then Hulagu springs the trap. While defenders obsess over keeping cavalry at rifle range, siege engineers tunnel toward a weak wall section near the river. They're not collapsing the whole wall, just creating a breach point. Simultaneously, Mongol agents inside the city, posing as refugees, start a fire near a secondary ammunition depot. Not the main arsenal, that's too guarded. A smaller cache that forces redistribution of reserves. In the chaos, a merchant under interrogation accidentally reveals another hidden stockpile location. Mongol night raids hit it 48 hours later. The breakthrough comes at 3 a.m. The tunnel opens into a residential quarter behind defensive lines. 200 Mongol infantry pour through. They don't attack rifle positions directly. They hit supply depots, burn food stores, cut off ammunition access, and create chaos where AK fire can't be brought to bear without massacring civilians. Defensive commanders face an impossible choice: pull troops from walls to fight infiltrators, weakening strongest positions, or maintain the perimeter while the city burns from within. They split their forces poorly. By dawn, Baghdad's defense fragments. Not from losing firefights, they're still winning those, but from losing cohesion. Units can't communicate. Ammunition distribution breaks down. Militia groups hoard remaining bullets rather than share. When Hulagu orders the general assault, it's not against prepared positions, but against confused, isolated pockets who've burned through 60% of ammunition on previous engagements. The AK-47s remain functionally superior to anything the Mongols have. But guns without bullets are clubs. Coordination without leadership is panic. Soldiers without food or hope are just bodies waiting to die. The twist: Baghdad doesn't fall to cavalry charges or miracle weapons. It falls because warfare isn't about having the best rifle. It's about logistics, intelligence, psychological operations, and command structure. The Mongols win not by countering the AK-47 directly, but by making it irrelevant. They fight the war they can win, not the war defenders want. The last resistance falls not to arrows or swords, but to starvation, ammunition, exhaustion, and simple mathematics of 150,000 disciplined warriors against a fractured garrison that ran out of bullets 3 days ago. Could AK-47s have saved Baghdad in 1258? They'd have made the siege bloodier, longer, more expensive for the Mongols. Casualties would have been catastrophic on the attacker side, but advanced weapons without logistics, without unified command, without strategy beyond shoot the guys on horses, just delays the inevitable. The Mongols didn't conquer half the world by charging into superior firepower. They conquered it by making superior firepower irrelevant. Sometimes the best way to beat a gun is never letting your enemy pull the trigger. What do you think? Could any defense have held against that combination of siege warfare and psychological ops? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.